Welcome to MSG PM, presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. Right now, you are checking out the April 18, 2021 tilt between the New York Knicks and the New Orleans Pelicans, where Zion Williamson made his way to Madison Square Garden, but the show was stolen by the one and only people's champ, Derrick Rose, where he scored 23 points off the bench. We're going to talk a little about him, Sixth Man of the Year odds, a little Zion Williamson quote that went a little viral after the game. But before we do all of that, I got to bring in my man, my mellow, my tag team partner, the boy with the numbers, Jeff Eisenband. Talk to me, man. What's going on?
I'm watching this game, and we don't even, it's almost overshadowed that Julius Randle had 33 in this game. So when you have Julius Randle and Derrick Rose putting up 56, if my math is right, that's hard to overcome for anyone in this league.
Yeah, Jeff, and obviously the spotlight's always going to be on a guy like Zion Williamson when he comes to New York City. And according to Caesars Sportsbook, the odds have him as a plus 1,000 bet to win the NBA scoring title next year. He balled out his first full season as a pro. Talk to me about those odds of Zion Williamson becoming the NBA's leading scorer.
I think you like him a little more than I do, Kaz, just because I feel like he's got that LeBron in him, that he's not going for points every night. You know, it's not about being the leading scorer in the league for Zion Williamson, and because he does so much on both ends of the floor. I think that he'll always be a top scorer, but I think going after him to be the guy, even when he reaches his prime, is a stretch. But Kaz, we also have to mention that this was the game that, you know, Zion was asked a little about playing in Madison Square Garden after, and Coach K always makes sure Duke has at least one game at the Garden. It's always played up. You know, it's taught to them that this is the Mecca. And I think Zion opened a lot of people's ears when he said, you know, he wouldn't hate to play in Madison Square Garden one day as a home arena.
Don't do it to me, Knicks fans. New Yorkers, take a deep breath. We've been through this before, okay? We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But speaking in the present, Derrick Rose absolutely stole the show that game, coming off the bench with 23 huge points and was ever important in leading the Knicks to that victory. He's the people's champ around here. Talk to me about Derrick Rose and what he means to this Knicks organization.
I mean, look, Derrick Rose averaged 14.9 points last year in 35 games with the Knicks, and it felt like he was thrown into the fire. Like all of a sudden you woke up one day and were like, wait, Derrick Rose is out there playing for the New York Knicks, and he definitely eased into his role. Obviously having Tom Thibodeau as his coach helps getting him acclimated with things. Remember, he averaged 19.4 points per game for the Knicks in the playoffs. That was more than any other player. He ended up starting 3 of those 5 games. So I think Derrick Rose has now had an offseason. And the biggest thing for me is just Derrick Rose understanding his role right now, where he is in his career. I think there were so many concerns with Derrick Rose. Would he ever be able to be a role player in the NBA? And I think he shattered all sorts of expectations this year. He wants to win. He wants to play for the coaching staff that he knows. He wants to go out there and have a great season for the Knicks this year.
You know, Jeff, there's not many people who are better stars in their role than Derrick Rose. He was this close from taking home the 2021 Sixth Man of the Year award. But full screen me real quick, producers, and let's talk about the odds for the 2022 NBA Sixth Man of the Year. Jordan Clarkson and Kevin Huerter atop the list with plus 500 and plus 1,200. Joe Ingles from the Utah Jazz is up there as well. Tyrese Halliburton and Goran Dragic each have plus 1,600 odds. And there's once again Derrick Rose with plus 1,800 odds. Jeff, with Kemba Walker coming into the league and Derrick Rose likely sliding back to that very comfortable bench position, what do you make of these odds and these makeups for a Sixth Man of the Year?
Yeah, Kemba now on the Knicks, Derrick Rose clearly in that 6-man role. I think these odds are incredibly favorable if you're looking to put some money on Derrick Rose. $100 would net you $1,800 if Derrick Rose gets the 6th Man of the Year award. You mentioned, you know, just how close he was last year, Kaz. I mean, I'm shocked seeing these other guys. Like, I love Kevin Huerter as a player. I think Joe Ingles is a great player, but to have that sort of, you know, you really need to add something off the bench to be the 6th Man of the year. The only other guy on this list I maybe take a look at is Tyrese Halliburton, because I know how talented he is. If he's backing up De'Aaron Fox, you know, he could make some noise off the bench. But Goran Dragic, he's vocal that he doesn't even like that he was shipped to a new location. So, you know, I think Derrick Rose is a great opportunity here.
Yeah, very, very strange that Goran Dragic has better odds than Derrick Rose because we don't even know if he likes the team where he's at. I don't know if he's even going to stay there or not. But if you could pick an award that you want a player on your team to win, I think one would be MVP, and next would be the NBA's Most Improved Player of the Year, which Julius Randle took home last year. So let's talk a little about those odds. Full screaming real quick. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander plus 900, leading the way, tied with Michael Porter Jr. Amazingly, Zion Williamson, who was already pretty good, with a plus 1,000. Kevin Porter Jr. at plus 1,200. Zach LaVine at plus 1,500, an Olympic gold medalist. And Colin Sexton, who was tied to a lot of Knicks rumors this offseason, also at plus 1,500. Out of all of these names, who do you like the most to take this Most Improved Player of the Year award?
Yeah, you mentioned Sexton, and that's the guy that I look at here, who it just feels like we've been waiting for him to make that jump. Such a stout player, both offensively and defensively. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to take a big step this year. You know, last year was a real rebuilding year for them, and they have such young talent. Darius Garland, Isaac Okoro. Now they have Jarrett Allen in that lineup to play with Colin Sexton. I think he's a guy, young bull, could be the guy that takes that step on the cusp of being an all-star this year.
Now, this is where we get real fun, all right? Let's do some long shots at the Most Improved Player of the Year because we're doing a whole lot of projecting, and you got RJ Barrett topping this list at plus 3,000, sharing same odds with Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and Tyrese Halliburton. I mean, you look at these names. These are all very well-known names, guys we really like, as well as Mitchell Robinson with plus 6,000 odds. I really like Ben Simmons over here. I feel like he's going to go somewhere where he could be his own man, have his own team, and I feel like as bad as he played in the playoffs, he can only go up from here, right?
Can a multi-time All-Star really end up being the most improved player in the NBA? That I think is the question. Look, if he is you know, hits 23 pointers, maybe we can have that conversation. But RJ Barrett plus 3,000. I thought RJ should have got more love in most improved last season. And like I said, if he can figure out how to shoot the basketball from 3-point range, if he can add a few more ticks to his game, which I think he's doing, working so hard every offseason. And like I said, he would just be a senior in college right now. I think RJ Barrett at plus 3,000. It shouldn't even be on the long shot list. He should be moved up there. And then Anthony Edwards. I know I just critiqued Ben Simmons a little bit, a former first overall pick, but Anthony Edwards, we finally started to see glimpses in the second half of the season of how great of a star he could be. If he becomes, you know, more of a scoring threat and not just a highlight reel threat, I think he could be most improved player.
And not just a highlight reel threat. He's an first team all soundbite team, all right? I love hearing some Anthony Edwards quotes. And put some respect on the Maple Mamba's name, all right? I want to see RJ Barrett a little higher on those odds as well. New York City, here's something you can enjoy. Zion Williamson playing on the Madison Square Garden crowd. Continue to enjoy that. That's Jeff Eisenband. I'm Kazim Famuide. Continue to watch the game and watch MSG PM presented by Caesar Sportsbook. Your app is ready, Emperor. We'll catch you soon.